The Cosmic Cat. Hello again, and thank you all for visiting my channel. I hope you are all happy and well. I am Mari. This content can be seen as science fiction or as the viewer sees best, and I post it for entertainment purposes only, but I take my information very seriously, and for whoever has eyes to see. The idea of the Cosmic Cat is a concept that started almost as a joke coming from my sister Minerva Swaruu, little Yaji, when she was like 7 or 8 years old, and it slowly grew big and out of proportion, becoming widely known in the circle of people who followed what she said. It was said that the Urmah, galactic feline people, had a monotheistic, supreme deity that created everything, a feline version of Jehovah. That deity obviously had to be a cat, taking into account that the Urmah felines are known to have huge egos, and tend to felinize everything, as humans also tend to humanize everything, therefore for Urmah everything is a cat. A side note here, we have noticed the appearance of several new channels recycling my material about the Urmah on YouTube. I'm not going to say anything bad about them, as the ones I've seen do not retransmit or copy my material straight up, because what they do reuse are the concepts and information I share about them. All of you are free to go and watch and believe whatever you want, yet there is one little detail that my Urmah contact Arishah told me that they find especially irritating, and it is that all those channels are still pushing the idea that the Urmah have human bodies or humanoid bodies. This is flatly wrong, and it is only logical to see that if you have the head of a tiger, a lion, a leopard, or a panther, and so on, then you would need to have a body that matches it. The Urmah are large advanced felines, with a feline body as is to be expected, and who average 3 meters tall, when walking upright on their short but muscular feline legs. So what do the Urmah people really believe in? The base of their spirituality is very similar to the one of the Taygetans, and it has been described and shared on countless videos since years ago. The Urmah people believe in oneness. They believe that we are all holographic fragments of a larger cosmic source, that includes everyone and everything that has ever been, is now, and will be, and outside all time and space, as it is the unity created by all things, not only those with a consciousness. Because for the Urmah people, all things have a consciousness, not only plants, people and animals, therefore everything is a being with its own sense of existence and awareness that goes according to its own spiritual evolution. This means that everything is someone, a small representation of source consciousness, and this includes pebbles, subatomic particles, garbage, and whatever we can possibly think of. This understanding of the Urmah people, considering everything to be conscious and aware of its own existence, even if it is not of a biological origin, is the base of their ethics, not only of their spiritual belief system. Their ethics are considered to be one of the most solid and congruent ones of all star races, congruent because they not only talk about behaving nicely, they act upon their belief systems, and they live by them, unlike so many other people of other races, who hypocritically say something and then go do the opposite. Yes, the Urmah people have huge egos, and they even boast about them, so my saying this is not criticizing them in any manner. But we must understand their feline mentality, because as they are so aware that everything is consciousness, they have developed a very strong respect and love for all people, of whatever race, a strong respect for everything that exists, as they also believe that there is much to learn from everything and everyone, including a small piece of stone. As Ari has told me, talking about this, there is no problem with having strong and healthy egos, when you act with love and respect for those others who are around you, fully knowing that we are all connected, and that whatever you do to someone else, you are doing to yourself, and not in a new age spiritual empty manner, as only nice words, but as something deeply embedded into their Urmah culture and way of being. As Ari said, there is no use in having a small ego, or in trying to dissolve or obliterate it, as so many spiritual teachers push on earth so hard. It is much better, much more ethical to have a healthy and even huge ego, and from there be able to help and protect everything they love, from a place of strength. These are Ari's concepts, but with my wording. According to the Urmah, having a big healthy, centered ego is often confused with being narcissistic, but you cannot see a big ego as narcissistic if it is based on the concept of helping others, as they are also part of who you are, therefore part of your ego. In this case it is, not, as in, me, I'm the greatest thing that ever existed, you are nothing compared to me, me. The Urmah mentality is that of seeing everyone as part of themselves, therefore lifting and helping others to the best of their abilities is helping themselves, but prioritizing their well-being first, to be able to guarantee the continuity of such help, and without overtaxing their own resources, which they see as the base of all spiritual growth, not only their own, but for everyone around them as well. With this, we can see that the Urmah consider themselves to be pillars of strength in every sense and way, and not only physical strength, but spiritual and ethical as well. One of the bases of the Urmah mentality is to always be an example to follow, to be the greatest ethical and spiritual monolith, with which others should measure their own advancement. Yet they are humble enough to accept that they too are on their spiritual path, therefore do not consider themselves to be perfect, but they do consider themselves to be the perfect example of a race that does its best to be perfect. In the Urmah mentality, even their enemies are considered as part of themselves, as reflections of their darkest aspects which should be cleansed and integrated. As the Urmah also consider the material world to be only an illusory part of the greater reality, battling an enemy with a sword is just another spiritual cleansing practice. They tend to blend the spiritual side with the world of the living, and when this is added to their strong sense of ethics, of what is right and what is wrong, whenever an Urmah considers something or someone to be an enemy, they have no ethical problem with slitting their throats with a sword. As they are completely and strongly convinced that they have the ethical frame to decide that it was the best and only course of action, as all others were exhausted before coming to the point of the use of arms. This means that an Urmah warrior's frame, spirituality and ethics are so strong, that he will sleep peacefully in his warm bed, with a clear consciousness, after a day full of fierce battles and enemy throat-cutting. Cats in general, including the Urmah, have one paw in the material world and another in the spiritual side. As I said above, they blend both into one. They walk the side of the spirits in their astral travels, as they walk the material world, and they can see both at the same time, because their existential realm and their physical senses awareness capacity is much broader than the one of Lyrians, humans in general. This strongly helps them to develop a strong sense of ethics. They do not carry guilt baggage as so many others do, because they strongly feel that they did their best, and they are not afraid of karmic consequences, or of anything in the astral, as they know and manage it to an astounding degree, and we cannot even start to know how much, but certainly a lot more than what we can, as all cats do. The Urmah eat special artificially grown muscle tissue, as meat, which has never been an animal. As a culture they do not need to hunt to eat any longer, yet Urmah are completely carnivorous creatures, and they are known to hunt for food, when in need. But they ask for forgiveness from the spirit of the animal, with a warrior ritual, and they explain to it why it was necessary and that they are very sorry, very much as the old Native American cultures also did in the past, as they were a lot more in contact with nature than modern society is on Earth now. After saying all of the above, they do believe in respecting and honoring their ancestors. They talk to their spirit guides, who obviously would also be cats, so in their own way, they do have a version of the cosmic cat, not as a deity perhaps, but as Urmah ancestral spirit guides, those who accompany them throughout their lives, whispering in their ears, and keeping the living on their right path. As people, they are very loving, emotional and joyful, always with an easy laugh, in their own way and style of course. Their ethical and spiritual frame is like no other, and they certainly are examples to follow, and a lot of my own spiritual frame is also based on Urmah teachings, as well as on Taygetan ones. They are, by far, the non-Lyrian star race I personally respect the most, so please remember that they have a feline head, and a feline body that matches it. Thank you for watching my video, and for liking, sharing, and subscribing. I appreciate it a lot. And I hope to see you here next time. Take care. With much love, your friend, Mari Swaruu.